Hello and welcome, my dear friend. You found this message exactly when you were meant to, not because you were seeking it, but because something sacred has already been sent ahead of you. A divine message, written by God's own hand. And the moment it lands, something inside of you is going to click, like a lock that was waiting for the right key. So listen closely till the end, because the future you, the one you barely let yourself believe in, is closer than your fears and stronger than your current circumstances. Heaven says, get ready. They're about to become who I always said they were. But before that version of you walks in, God needed to get a message to your now, not your polished version, not the you that already knows what to do, but the you that's been quietly wondering if the way you're moving through life makes sense anymore. Because let's be real for a moment. You know, sometimes we measure divine moments using the same logic we were taught in a world that's constantly chasing fame, money, and appearances. And sure, those things aren't bad. They're incredible, actually, but only when they're carried by something real, by true intentions, by faith in the heart, by kindness in the mind. All things you've already been practicing like second nature. So why are we still measuring life by a framework that barely worked for us in the first place? You've already seen how it leaves people empty, how they chase more just to feel enough. And deep down you've always known this universe is more than that. So maybe what you're feeling isn't confusion. It's contrast. You're just not playing by the same rules anymore. And this message is your bridge, because you've been standing in between, too awake to go back, too called to pretend, but not quite sure how to live from that deeper place without drifting off the map completely. You've been walking like someone caught between dimensions, and now, the one meant to live in the next one is arriving. Let's make something clear. This isn't a "you're about to glow up" message. This is spiritual alignment at full force. This was sent to deliver activation, because God isn't asking you to be more. He's reminding you that you already are. And that's what this message carries. Confirmation. Not some vague encouragement, but a soul-level knowing. You didn't mishear your calling. You didn't imagine your sensitivity. You weren't being too much when you said, there has to be more than this. There is more, and it's about to start walking in as you. But it's not going to feel like some big dramatic explosion. It's going to feel like letting go of everything that made you feel small, just to feel safe. Through choosing what's aligned, not what's easiest. Through showing up again, even when you're not fully sure what's next. And yes, that will scare people. Because this new you, you're not afraid to trust what doesn't look logical anymore. You're not clinging like you used to. You're not trying to control every outcome like it's your job to manage the universe. You're starting to see it now, aren't you? The exhaustion wasn't from doing something wrong. It was from trying to carry something that was never yours to carry alone. This world teaches us to hustle for everything, to earn love, to prove worth, to micromanage destiny. And we both know that doesn't work. Not for people like you, not for souls who were never meant to follow a script. So let's sit with this for a moment. The same God who crafted galaxies, who gave the ocean its rhythm, who wrote the details of your fingerprint with intention, that same God didn't bring you this far just to leave you here guessing. He's not asking you to hustle for his help. He's asking you to let him lead. And just keep showing up, fully, softly, honestly, without clinging, without rushing, because the future version of you knows this. And they're about to arrive in you, not as someone louder, bolder, or more perfect, but as someone finally comfortable in their own rhythm. Someone who trusts the flow of the river more than the need to control its direction. Someone who knows that rest isn't weakness, that stillness isn't failure, that slowness isn't falling behind. And if you're in that in-between space right now, where nothing makes perfect sense yet, just remember, even silence has its own divine momentum. So stay close to yourself. Stay close to the signs that speak softly, the timing that seems strange, the thoughts that return to you again and again, asking to be trusted. Because what's arriving next, it's a version of you you're finally ready to receive. And here's something people don't talk about enough. Becoming isn't always visible on the surface. Sometimes it's just you, sitting in your room, feeling like everything is shifting, but having no words for what's happening. No spotlight, no applause. Just the slow realization that you don't fit in your old patterns anymore. You try to go back and think, maybe I was happier then, but it doesn't feel like it used to. You try to move forward and wonder, am I ready? But you're not sure what ready even looks like anymore. Let me tell you, this is the space where the most important work happens. And I know it feels lonely sometimes, but it's not isolation, it's refinement. Because God doesn't promote chaos. He prepares the vessel before the blessing arrives. And that's what this message is, a moment of sacred preparation. Not pressure, not urgency, but a deep, quiet yes forming in your soul. The kind of yes that doesn't need outside permission. The kind of yes that changes everything, even before anything visibly changes. And if it feels like nothing has happened yet, like maybe you missed your moment, let me remind you, you are the moment. The shift doesn't always show up like a door swinging open. Sometimes it shows up like a small inner decision, a deep breath, a silent agreement with yourself that you're not going to shrink just to stay comfortable. You're not going to perform a version of yourself that's more acceptable, more digestible, more normal. You're going to live as you, full, honest, present. And yes, that may feel risky, because we've been conditioned to believe that safe means invisible, that being soft means weak, that being spiritual means constantly being peaceful and unbothered. But the truth? Being spiritual means being anchored. Even when everything around you is unsteady, it means choosing love when it's not convenient, choosing alignment when it's not understood, choosing truth even when it doesn't win you approval. And that's what's happening here. This isn't just a nice message. It's an alignment, a mirror, a moment that reflects back the version of you that's been growing in private. The one who doesn't look for signs in the sky anymore, but recognizes them in your own breath. The one who understands that faith isn't waiting for something to happen. It's knowing that something already has. The you who is coming next. They're not defined by the old fears. They're not led by other people's pace. They're led by the peace of knowing you were never supposed to blend in. So don't be surprised if things start falling away. Don't panic if people start misunderstanding your silence, your shift, your softness. Not everyone is meant to understand where you're going, because they weren't assigned to walk it with you. But don't close your heart, because new people are coming too. People who see you, who don't need you to explain your depth, who won't think you're too much, who've been praying for someone like you to show up and confirm that their own sensitivity wasn't brokenness, it was a gift. That's why you had to go through this first, so you could meet them as yourself, not a masked version. And that's what God's been setting up behind the scenes. Not just a shift in your life, but a shift in your relationships, your energy, your rhythm. Because this is no longer about waiting to be chosen. You were chosen from the beginning, not because of what you could do, but because of who you are. And I know that sometimes still doesn't feel like enough, because this world teaches us to always strive, to always be one step ahead, to make it make sense on paper. But let me ask you something. When has your most divine moment ever made sense on paper? When has your most meaningful breakthrough ever come through logic? You didn't earn this by being perfect. You aligned with it by being true. And now, it's time to live like that truth is enough, because it is. So here's your invitation. Let go of the outdated idea that God's timing is late. Let go of the idea that your progress has to look like someone else's. Let go of the guilt for needing rest, the shame for still healing, the fear of being seen mid-process. You are allowed to be seen now, not as someone who has it all figured out, but as someone who is real. You're not here to prove your worth. You're here to remember it, honor it, and move like it's already true. So breathe, sit with this, let it settle. The future you is not just coming. They're here, and all you have to do is meet them with your full presence. No more performing, no more controlling, no more waiting for the world to give you permission. God already did. And this is the moment you finally said yes. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there.